Hi, a very happy 2018 to all of you watching on ThePapare.com. Welcome to the breakdown, the first edition for the year 2018, and let's look forward at what we can expect from the Dialogue Rugby A Division League this upcoming weekend, and a quick look back at what happened last weekend as well. Let's take a quick look back at the action over the last weekend. We had a few very close games, and the first one of those was Havelock versus Air Force. It was 14-7 at halftime, but Havelock's a little bit too much quality over this Air Force side, who have kept improving over the course of this season. They managed to score 18 points, but Havelock's 34 in the end won that one fairly comfortably by 16 points. Then we had a grudge battle between Army and CRNFC. You remember that in that downpour, Army managed to beat CRNFC at Longdon Place. So this was going to be a really crucial game for the Red Shirts and for Army also to consolidate their position in the middle of the table. But what happened was that Mohammed Rizvi got an unfortunate red card. I can't say unfortunate because it was a red card. There was deliberate foul play and he deserved that red card, but that was a game-changing moment. And since he went off and they had to take one of their forwards off to make sure that they got a scrum half back on the pitch, it made all the difference for CRNFC, who managed to dominate with the forwards and allowed guys like Kamindu Pereira to score outstanding tries later on in the course of that game. But Omalka Gunaratne and Supun Vannakalasuriya also doing well, scoring a couple of tries for CRNFC. Army came back and scored some fabulous tries later on in the piece, but just didn't have enough to go over the line once Mohammed Rizvi was sent off the pitch. Lacking that experience, that combination with Ashan Bandara, who has been so good, Army only have themselves to blame for going down in this game by 24 points to 17. It was 10 points all at halftime. Next game we had on the cards was Navy taking on CH at Valisara, and this game was a really close one in the first round as well. It was no different in the second round. The Lee brothers had put CHNFC ahead with some great breaks in the opening half, and Madhuvantha had kept that scoreboard ticking. But it was Navy who came back into the game much later on, and they managed to punch holes using their big boys Lahiru Viswajit and Stefan Gregory and Dulanjan Vijayasinghe really close to the CHNFC line, and CH defense really didn't have much of an answer for the kind of weight that Navy was able to throw at them. They came back nicely into the game at 24 points all, and in the 79th minute, it was really unfortunate. Samuel Madhuvantha went for a turnover, and referee Rishad Carter ruled that that turnover was not a legal one. He had come in from the side and his hands were out of the ground, so he got a yellow card for his trouble, as well as a penalty in the final moment for Thirina Veerasinghe to knock over from about 40 meters out, and it was a regulation kick for him, but the pressure would have told. But on his home ground, he was managed to get his team the win by 27 points to 24. Really tight game, which unfortunately bubbled over a little bit towards the end of that match as well. After the game had finished, in fact, there were a few differences of opinion shared between the players, which we don't really like to see too much. Then we had Kandy up in Nithavala, who hosted Police, the bottom place team, so top playing the bottom, and you could see exactly what the gulf was like, because it finished up 61 points to 20, and the game was 28 points to 6 at halftime, which shows that Kandy have really got their act together in the second half. They started off this season as being a very first half side, but now it seems that they can play those 80 minutes, and they're going to be a really tough proposition, especially up in Nithavala, for anybody who wants to try and beat them for the first time this season. So let's look ahead at what we've got in store for you this upcoming weekend in the Dialogue Rugby A Division League. We have Havelocks taking on CH. That's going to be a really impressive game as well, because you remember that Havelocks came through in the last few moments of last time's game, the first round game between these two teams. And CH, after that loss against Navy, they will be seething. They will really want to come in and show that they've got a win. Havelocks have been on a bit of a downward spiral in the last couple of weeks. They haven't been playing the same brand of rugby they started out playing this season with. So CH may just be the ones who have the number on Havelock's back. Let's see whether they are able to throw in a little bit of an upset there, because CH are playing much better than they were earlier on in the season. They've got the confidence now as well, and they know that after the first round fixture, they can definitely take these guys at Havelock Park. Next, we've got Air Force taking on Kandy. We have Kandy travelling down for Ratmalana. The wind is bound to play a little bit of a role here. Obviously, it's very difficult to play into that strong headwind that one team has to face in the first half. So if Kandy don't get the benefit of that in the first half, their score will probably be a little lower than they would like it to be. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty tame win for Kandy SC this time around as well, because Air Force don't look like they've got the goods, despite the fact that they've been improving. Doesn't look like they've got the goods to upset this Kandy side as they did last year. But they'll be remembering that last year's upset, and let's see whether at Ratpalan on their home ground they can try and work up a little bit of an upset. Next match we have on the cards, CRNFC travel to Police Park. That should be a fairly comfortable win as well, because CR will remember that they got their biggest win of the first round against these opponents, and they'll want to get their bonus point as well. It has been a lackluster season for them so far, but perhaps that coming into form from ThePapare and the rest of his team against the Army team last week will be the shot in the arm that they need, and perhaps if they can pile on a big bonus point win, this will stand them in good stead for the rest of the season. So look for CRNFC to win that one and to win it comfortably. Next match we have on the cards is Army taking on Navy at Havelock Park. So Navy away from home, a different proposition from Navy at home, and this Army team, they will probably have to start without Mohammad Rizvi as well, because he will get a suspension for his red card, but I'm sure they're going to be able to practice with a new halves combination, which would mean that Ashan Bandara will be at his dangerous best once again. So Navy's defense has been a little wanting as well. CHNFC exposed them on the kick. When they're turning around and having to go back, it looks very much like they are second best. So that's something that they will have to work on, and it's something definitely that Nilofer Ibrahim in this Army coaching camp would have noticed. So he's going to look to put the ball behind this Navy team and attack it with his fast runners, and they've got some really hard-working third row forwards as well for the Army. So look for that game to be an interesting one. I would put my money on Army actually pulling that one off against Navy, especially if they've practiced with this new halves combination. So let's have a look at how this looks like on the points table if those results go according to plan. Let's have a look at what the permutations are for the points table. We have the big match, of course, between Havelocks and CH. So CH currently in 6th place, but they are well ahead of the bottom place two teams, and they are just 1 point away from CRNFC, who are in 5th place, and 2 points down from Army, who are in 4th place. So CH know that if they beat Havelocks on the weekend, then they get to leapfrog all the way up to 4th place. That's a big deal for them. They'll definitely want that win. Havelocks on 35 points will know that if they lose that, they completely lose touch with Kandy, and their 2nd place position may be in jeopardy as well. Navy against Army, that's a big match as well, because you're having the 3rd place team play the 4th place team, and if Army win that one, they might go a little bit further ahead of Navy if Navy don't get a bonus point in that game. So Army will be looking to go up to 3rd place over the course of this weekend as well. So huge movements for some of those teams in the middle of the pack. So that's why this particular weekend's games are going to be so enjoyable and it's going to be so intense, because there's so much at stake for everyone involved. So let's wait and see how those go. Look for CR as well, trying to notch up a bonus point win. They're 24 points at the moment, 4 points shy of Navy. So if Navy lose and CR win this weekend, then CR could also make it up to number 3. So let's wait and see how things go, because it could be anyone finishing in the 3rd position, any out of that middle pack when we come back for the next breakdown.